A moment of misunderstanding changed an entire fate. In the sun-drenched garden of Hollywood Hills, Isabella Hayes, a devoted and gentle nanny, was tenderly bathing the twin girls, Ava and Bella, in an old metal tub. But when Alexander Brooks, a widowed millionaire, caught sight of the scene, his fury erupted. "What are you doing to my children?" The humiliating words tore through Isabella's heart, driving her out of the home she had come to see as family. This is a story of love, pain, and healing that will bring you to tears. Emily Reyes, a 26-year-old woman with a warm smile and eyes radiating quiet resilience, had become the nanny for 1 8-month-old twin boys, Leo and Liam, the motherless children of widowed millionaire Benjamin Carter. Born in a small Midwest town, Emily learned early to face loss when her parents died in a car accident at 15, forcing her to live with her sister and work without pay to care for her nieces and nephews. With no formal degree or experience, but with an innate maternal instinct, Emily found work at the luxurious Silver Hills estate in California, where she not only cared for the children but turned every moment into a symbol of love. Under the gentle morning sunlight filtering through the trees, the blooming garden became a stage for her tenderness. Emily gently poured warm water from a neighbor's well over Leo's soft hair, while Liam giggled, splashing his hands in shimmering soap bubbles. The old metal tub, set amidst lush green grass, was an emergency solution when the house's water was unexpectedly cut off. The previous day, a humane act, born of deep concern for the boys' health, preventing rashes or discomfort. Every gesture of Emily's was delicate, from the way she dried their soft skin with a gentle towel to humming a classic lullaby her grandmother once sang, turning a challenge into a moment of safety and joy. Could a woman like Emily, with a heart full of sacrifice, ever imagine that such care would spark a tragedy? Benjamin Carter, the brilliant CEO of a multi-million-dollar Silicon Valley tech company, often buried himself in work to escape the pain of losing his wife, leaving his 2 sons in Emily's arms. He had never noticed how she transformed the household, discovering Leo's milk allergy and using her savings to buy organic formula from a local market, propping pillows to help Liam sleep without reflux, even decorating the nursery with simple handmade items to create a warm atmosphere. Emily didn't boast. She quietly poured love into every meal, every hug, treating the boys as her own flesh and blood to fill the void of her lonely past. The sunlight illuminated the serene scene, but beneath it lay a quiet worry. Emily didn't want to trouble Benjamin with the water issue, so she managed alone, turning the old tub into a symbol of her resourcefulness and dedication. But have you ever wondered if sincere love could be so misunderstood as to destroy everything in an instant? Then the shock arrived like a fierce gust from the California ocean. Benjamin returned earlier than expected, stepping out of his sleek luxury car after a tense meeting. The sound of children's laughter from the backyard drew him in, and as he rounded the mansion, the sight froze him. Emily bathing his 2 sons in a rusty metal tub under the sun, naked and playful. Benjamin's face flushed, his anger erupting from fear and wounded pride. He stormed forward, his voice trembling with rage, berating Emily as irresponsible, treating the children like animals. Without waiting for an explanation, he ordered her to pack up and leave immediately, severing her connection with the boys she loved like her own. Emily flinched, nearly dropping Leo, as the twins wailed shrilly, their laughter replaced by fear mingling with soapy water. She held them tightly, her heart shattering into pieces, tears silently falling onto the damp ground beside the still warm tub. Her humane act had become a crime in Benjamin's eyes, thrusting Emily into the familiar pain of rejection. She stood frozen, watching him carry the boys inside without looking back, her hands empty, her soul broken. Is this the end of her boundless love, or merely the start of an unexpected journey of redemption? Don't turn away now, because the twists ahead will make you reflect on the true power of forgiveness and genuine love.
Welcome to 30 Millionaire Stories, where success meets solitude, and every story heals a hidden wound. Subscribe and discover the heart behind the fortune.
Emily Reyes's tears fell silently onto the ground of the Silver Hills garden, where the metal tub still held the lingering warmth of the love she poured into Leo and Liam. After Benjamin Carter's outburst of anger, she left the luxurious estate with a broken heart, dragging an old suitcase filled with fragments of painful memories. Her heavy steps led her to the small home of Mrs. Altha, a kind neighbor living a few blocks away in suburban California, where gentle moonlight illuminated wildflowers growing around the porch. Emily, the 6-year-old whose smile once brightened Benjamin's cold household, now curled up on an old sofa, her eyes distant as if gazing into unhealed scars from her past. Losing her parents in a car accident at 15-inch a small Midwest town, Emily grew up in the harsh environment of her sister's household, where she became an unpaid servant, cooking, cleaning, and caring for her nieces and nephews without a word of thanks. Long nights enduring insults from her alcoholic brother-in-law, and even narrowly escaping abuse, pushed her to flee, wandering through cities like Chicago before landing in California to start anew. With no degree or family, she had only a resilient heart and a belief that love could heal any wound. But have you ever wondered if a heart once shattered can continue to love without resentment? When she saw the ad for a nanny position with Benjamin Carter, Emily entered the Silver Hills estate with simple clothes and earnest eyes. Benjamin, desperate after previous nannies gave up on the incessantly crying twins, Leo and Liam, didn't require credentials, just someone who could bring peace. Emily did just that, not with skills but with an innate maternal instinct. On her first day, she noticed Leo's milk formula allergy, causing his stomach to swell and skin to rash. Without hesitation, she spent her entire savings on organic milk from a local farmer's market, restoring Leo's health in days. For Liam, whose reflux kept him sleepless, she cleverly folded towels to prop him up, granting peaceful slumber. Emily didn't boast. She quietly turned the cold house into a home. She hand-sewed curtains from scraps, decorated the nursery with handmade items from Santa Monica's flea market, filling the space with familial warmth. Every meal, every hug, she poured love into, as if compensating for her own deprived childhood. But her devotion was overshadowed by the jealousy of Clarissa, the housekeeper who once cared for the boys but lacked patience. Clarissa whispered slander into Benjamin's ear, planting seeds of doubt that Emily was untrustworthy, claiming she rummaged through his office when in reality, she only organized his scattered blood pressure medication to help him. Those seeds quietly grew, leading to the devastating misunderstanding by the metal tub. Now, sitting in Mrs. Altha's home, Emily clutched her mother's old handkerchief, each tear soaking up the familiar loneliness. She hadn't just lost a job, but the 2 boys she loved like her own, the tiny souls who gave her life meaning. The house Benjamin once found peaceful through her care was now just a memory, and she was thrust back into the darkness of rejection. But is this pain the end, or the beginning of a journey to reclaim the light, where Emily's love will be recognized? Don't turn away now, because the story ahead will make you reflect on the power of selflessness and the healing of the deepest wounds. Comment 1 if you find the story gripping, to let us know you're still here. Emily Reyes' pain lingered in Mrs. Altha's home, but not far away, at the Silver Hills estate, a vast void began to engulf everything, turning the once peaceful home into a living hell. Just 3 days after Emily's departure, Benjamin Carter, the widowed millionaire with a vast tech empire in Silicon Valley, realized her absence was not just a physical gap but a deep crack in the soul of the household. Leo and Liam, the 8-month-old twin boys who once giggled under Emily's gentle care, now cried incessantly, their shrill wails echoing through the grand hallways like a curse. They refused to eat, pushing away the organic milk Emily had so carefully prepared, their small bodies wasting away, their skin pale under the glow of the luxurious crystal chandeliers. A chaotic energy spread through the mansion, toys scattered, rugs crumpled, and the air heavy as if a storm were brewing. Benjamin, the sharp CEO who once managed hundreds of employees with an iron hand, now stood powerless before his own sons, sleepless nights leaving him exhausted, his eyes red from lack of sleep and gnawing guilt. The opulent house, once a symbol of American success, had become a living nightmare, where love was replaced by isolation and pain. But have you ever wondered how much a single impulsive decision can destroy a family? In a desperate attempt to fill the void, Benjamin hired nanny after nanny from top Los Angeles agencies, hoping to restore the peace Emily had brought. The first was a professional middle-aged woman with a clockwork schedule: baths at 7, meals at 8, naps at 9. But Leo and Liam screamed in fear whenever she approached, rejecting bottles from unfamiliar hands, causing her to quit after 2 days with a warning that the boys had behavioral issues needing medical intervention. The second, younger and cheerier but inexperienced, panicked when Liam vomited and couldn't soothe them, leading to even more chaotic nights. Within a week, 4 different nannies came and went, none lasting more than 3 days, each shaking their head at the twins' fierce resistance. The boys wouldn't eat, sleep, or smile, their diaper rashes worsening, their health deteriorating rapidly under the weight of an invisible anxiety. Benjamin, once proud of his ability to control everything, now felt a profound powerlessness, ignoring urgent company calls as he grappled with the relentless crying. The house, once warmed by Emily's subtle gestures, was now a prison of pain, where love had been replaced by despair. Would Benjamin realize that it wasn't skill but genuine love that could heal these wounds? The twins' health declined severely, turning mild colds into pneumonia due to weakened immune systems under emotional strain. Benjamin called Dr. Felix Rivera, the pediatrician who had monitored the boys since birth, for an emergency house visit. After a thorough examination, the elderly doctor sighed. Diagnosing severe separation anxiety, the twins were emotionally collapsing from losing Emily, the only source of love that had helped them navigate the difficult months after their mother's death. Benjamin began to tremble, realizing he had stripped his sons of their most precious anchor, the humiliating words by the metal tub now haunting him like a sharp blade. The grand house was now filled only with persistent crying and gnawing remorse, keeping Benjamin awake at night, lying restless by the cribs, questioning his impulsive decision. This nightmare was not just physical, but a lesson in the power of love, where a single mistake could destroy everything. Don't turn away now, because the journey of redemption ahead will make you reflect on the true value of family and forgiveness. The persistent cries of Leo and Liam still echoed through the Silver Hills mansion, where the twins' health crisis began to jolt Benjamin Carter out of his shell of pride, opening an unexpected journey of redemption. Harold, the loyal gardener who had been with the family for 15 years, could no longer bear the ceaseless crying from the backyard and entered Benjamin's office with a weathered face, his silver hair disheveled under an old cap. The 62-year-old man, who had watched Benjamin grow from a mischievous boy to a successful CEO, stood there as a symbol of simple sincerity. Harold reminded Benjamin of his own childhood on a Texas farm, where he bathed in an old wooden tub under the sun, joyful memories with his poor but loving grandmother. He gently pointed out that Emily hadn't harmed the children. On the contrary, she loved them like her own, waking early to buy food with her own money, staying up late when they were sick, and managing everything without troubling him. Benjamin's arrogance, Harold said, had blinded him to that humane act, turning the metal tub into a symbol of misunderstanding rather than love. Those words, like a gentle knife, cut through the veneer of pride, stirring memories of a Benjamin who once valued simplicity, prompting him to question his impulsive decision. But could the advice of a gardener be enough to sway a millionaire accustomed to power? Dr. Felix Rivera, the elderly pediatrician who had monitored Leo and Liam since birth, added depth to Harold's advice, turning the conversation into a lesson about the true value of love. After the emergency visit, he sat down with Benjamin, his voice steady but profound, explaining that children as wealthy as Leo and Liam, who had everything except genuine love, would grow up in emptiness, their weakened immune systems caused not just by viruses but by emotional pain. He recalled the months before Emily's arrival, allergies, reflux, and sleeplessness that left the twins crying endlessly, even prompting complaints from neighbors to local authorities. Emily, with her maternal instinct, had worked miracles, bringing laughter and peaceful sleep without seeking recognition. Dr. Rivera subtly compared children bathed in simple buckets, radiant with joy, to wealthy children lacking emotional warmth. His words acted like a mirror, reflecting Benjamin's arrogance, making him realize that firing Emily wasn't just a mistake but an act that stripped his sons of their emotional lifeline. Memories of a humble childhood, combined with the medical diagnosis, began to melt the ice of pride, plunging Benjamin into inner torment. Could a doctor and a gardener change the fate of a family teetering on the brink of collapse? That night, as Liam coughed violently and Leo's fever spiked to the point of requiring an emergency call, Benjamin finally broke down in a profound awakening, realizing no nanny could replace Emily's genuine love. The twins lay in hospital beds, their tiny bodies curled under white blankets, their dry coughs mingling with weak cries like a reminder of the consequences of an impulsive decision. Benjamin stood by their cribs, his trembling hand touching their feverish cheeks, the memory of the metal tub swirling in his mind like an accusation. His pride shattered, he resolved to set aside his ego to make amends, seeking to contact Emily despite the gnawing fear it might be too late. This awakening wasn't just about the children's health, but a larger lesson. Love cannot be bought with money or status. Don't turn away now, because the journey to seek forgiveness ahead will make you reflect on the mistakes that can change lives forever. The awakening sparked by Harold and Dr. Rivera's advice still haunted Benjamin Carter, propelling him into a remorseful journey of redemption, where past mistakes began to heal through sincere gestures. With the help of Harold, the loyal gardener who revealed Mrs. Altha's address in suburban California, Benjamin drove through winding roads under the late afternoon sun, his heart pounding like a war drum. The modest house, draped in purple bougainvillea, stood just a few blocks from the Silver Hills mansion. Yet for Benjamin, the distance felt like an abyss of regret. Mrs. Altha opened the door with a sharp gaze, and Benjamin, the millionaire once accustomed to power, stood there with a trembling voice, offering a heartfelt apology. He was wrong. His sons needed Emily, and he owed her recognition for the love she brought. Emily, sitting in the backyard with 3 orphan children, Noah, Lily, and Ava, whom she cared for through a local social center, was initially wary, her face thinner, her eyes darkened by the pain of humiliation. But when Benjamin recounted how Leo and Liam called her name in their feverish sleep at the hospital, her eyes welled up, her love for the children like an unextinguished flame, prompting her to agree to see them despite lingering doubts. Could a single apology mend such a deep wound, or was this just the start of greater challenges? At Cedars-Sinai Hospital in Los Angeles, the moment Emily stepped into the hospital room was like a miracle, transforming the cold space into one filled with the sacred warmth of maternal love. Leo and Liam, curled up in bed with their tiny bodies weakened by exhaustion, stirred suddenly at her familiar presence. The twins burst into tears, reaching out to cling to Emily, sobbing in her arms as if releasing all the pain accumulated since her departure. Emily soothed them, tears silently falling onto their soft hair, her familiar lullaby softly rising, bringing a peace no words could describe. Benjamin stood quietly behind, witnessing the scene that made him realize the true value of love. Not money or status, but simple gestures from the heart. He promised to provide for all the children Emily cared for: education, housing, health care, not out of guilt, but from genuine gratitude for her sacrifice. Emily hesitated but agreed to return, not as a nanny, but as a true mother, turning the Silver Hills mansion into a place where she could continue to bring warmth. But have you ever wondered how far love can heal the cracks in a heart once shattered? The distance between Benjamin and Emily began to dissolve through daily moments, where sincerity rebuilt the trust once destroyed. Emily returned to the mansion with Noah, Lily, and Ava, living in a small house next to the main estate that Benjamin had purchased. The two homes connected by a gravel path where the children ran freely. Benjamin, once consumed by work, now spent time fixing broken toys for Leo, cooking with Emily in a cozy kitchen, learning to prepare organic milk the way she did. Unexpected hugs, like when Emily rested her head on his shoulder after a long day of childcare, were not romantic gestures but natural closeness, healing the wounds from the misunderstanding by the metal tub. One night, when Lily developed a high fever, Benjamin drove the entire family to the hospital, sitting by Emily's side for 3 hours, holding her hand in silent comfort. Breaking down the final wall between them, the distance vanished, replaced by a bond forged through small actions, turning an unconventional family into a symbol of hope. Don't turn away now, because the surprises ahead will make you reflect on the power of forgiveness and true love. The vanishing distance between Emily Reyes and Benjamin Carter opened a new chapter filled with hope, where daily gestures became the foundation for a true family, transforming past pain into strength for the future. Emily and Benjamin officially became husband and wife in a small ceremony in the Silver Hills Mansion's garden, under the vibrant purple bougainvillea, with 5 children: Leo, Liam, Noah, Lily, and Ava, as witnesses, holding wildflowers and singing simple songs about home. It wasn't a lavish wedding with flashing lights or elite guests, but a heartfelt moment, with Emily in a simple white dress, Benjamin pinning a jasmine flower in her hair, exchanging vows of listening and holding hands through all hardships. Emily discovered she was pregnant with a girl, Hope, on an early autumn morning while preparing breakfast for the children, her hands trembling as she held the test result, tears of joy falling for a happiness she once thought forever out of reach. Born from a love that healed wounds, Hope was the perfect piece, her first cry echoing through Cedars-Sinai Hospital, sending the whole family dancing with joy. Benjamin, once a distant CEO, held his wife tightly, his eyes filled with gratitude, realizing that happiness lay not in material success but in shared, simple moments. A new family formed, unconventional but brimming with warmth, where children ran freely between 2 homes connected by a gravel path. But have you ever wondered if love can turn scars into symbols of strength? Benjamin transformed profoundly, spending more time with family, working remotely to drive the kids to school in Hollywood, changing Hope's diapers at night, and reading bedtime stories with a playful voice that made the children laugh endlessly. He even bathed Hope in the very same old metal tub, the symbol of the misunderstanding that once led to Emily's dismissal, now a testament to a new beginning, with the baby's giggles echoing through the garden like healing music. Benjamin learned to cook with Emily, fixed broken toys for Leo and Liam, and truly listened to her stories of a painful past, turning his former arrogance into humility. Evenings gathered around a dining table he built himself, with room for 8 and always a spot for unexpected guests, filled the house with children's voices, Emily's budding guitar strums, and the laughter of 2 people once living in separate worlds. Their family wasn't perfect. There were days of children's arguments, burnt dinners, or Benjamin exhausted after work, but they always found their way back to each other, because love was built on patience and second chances. Hope grew up in those arms, drawing family pictures under the oak tree, reminding everyone that happiness lies in how much you love, not how much you own. Could a man who once lost everything find meaning in life through such small changes? 10 years later, the Silver Hills estate transformed, not in architecture but in its warm atmosphere, where once cold gray walls were now painted soft cream, windows flung open to welcome music and laughter. Emily stood in the kitchen, her long hair streaked with silver, baking cookies for Leo and Liam's 10th birthday, holding a handwritten card from the children. "Thank you, Mom, for never giving up on us." Benjamin walked in, kissed her cheek, and helped arrange the cookies on a tray, their eyes exchanging a deep peace. The children grew. Lily dreamed of becoming a preschool teacher, Noah studied programming, Ava loved photography, Leo and Liam were mischievous but hugged their mom every night, whispering words of love. Hope, the 9-year-old, drew memories under the tree, asking her mom about that family, and Emily smiled. Love becomes fuller when given away. Emily and Benjamin left a legacy. Love measured not by money but by forgiveness and second chances. A vivid lesson for the next generation. The story ends with a profound message. Every heart deserves to be loved. A journey from misunderstanding to eternal peace. Do you believe in the power of such love? Don't turn away now, because the lessons from this journey will make you reflect on your own life. And so, the journey from the misunderstanding by the metal tub to the eternal peace of Emily and Benjamin comes to an end, but its lessons remain, like a lighthouse guiding us forward. From this story, we learn that true love is not measured by wealth or status, but by patience, forgiveness, and second chances. Emily teaches us the power of sacrifice, while Benjamin reminds us that pride can blind us, but the heart can always awaken. Every heart deserves to be loved, whether you've been hurt, misunderstood, or made mistakes. Let this story heal you, inspire you to embrace your loved ones, forgive the past, and build a future from the broken pieces. Thank you for watching until the end of the video. If you're in the United States, whether in New York or California, share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever forgiven someone and found happiness in return? Share your story. We read every comment, usually in the evening. Don't forget to like, share this video with friends to spread the message of love, and subscribe to the channel to not miss the next inspiring stories. Let's build a healing community together.